Hello and welcome back to another round. I hope you guys are all having a good day today. We are back for another season of Martha's Vineyard SummerHouse. Okay, I know I said it backwards, but I'm going to put the black people first up in this. Okay, that's what we're going to do over here. So we back in the vineyard, y'all. We are back. We are back. We are back with the crew. Well, most of the crew, not all of the crew, because if y'all remember, some people got voted off the vineyard last year, and this year some people got deployed. So we back though. We back in the building. So I am here. I'm your girl Jay. I shortly should be joined by some other folks. Hopefully, you know how people do. They like to be late to their own funeral. So there's that. Okay. But, anyways, we are here. If you are joining me now live, please do me a favor. Throw them green hearts in the chat. Let me know that you are in here with us. And if you're watching this back on the replay, leave your like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, leave your comments down in the comment box. Let us know how you feel about the first episode of season 2 and, what you look forward to seeing coming up, because it seems like it's going to be a hot summer in Martha's Vineyard, baby. These 15 days, baby, it's about to be explosive, okay? Because day 1 was already some stuff, okay? Day 2 done brought more things. So we about to see how it's going to go. Anyways, we get a little small recap that everybody is back in Oak Bluffs. Jasmine reintroduced everybody, reintroduced the crew and stuff. What are we doing here in the middle of the day? Girl, we recapping the vineyard. That's what we're doing. We are getting back into the vineyard, okay? That's what we're doing back in the middle of the day. We got to get back with our black folks in the summers. Martha's Vineyard is back. And we got to be back with them. We got to support our black community, okay? We love to see beautiful black people doing beautiful black things on beautiful black land, okay? So we got to get our talk on about the episode. And like I said, Jasmine reintroducing us to the whole crew states that her and Jordan are now distant sister cousins, because last year she called them sister cousins, and so now they're distant sister cousins, okay? They ain't close no more this year. They ain't close. All right. And Nick and his secret, not so much a secret anymore, girlfriend Tasia is still together, and Amir has a new girlfriend, Natalie. Alex and Summer, question mark, because we don't know what's going on with them too, okay? Last summer it was a good summer. This summer it's looking like a winter and summer, okay? It's looking like a winter and summer because summer is definitely cold and bitter about some things that went down between her and Alex, but we'll get into that, okay? Day 1 of 15. Child, guess who make it to the house first? Bria. Now, I don't know how y'all felt about Bria last year, but Bria got on my little nerves, okay? She was a little black Karen, and she was getting on my nerves last year. Remember, she done brought the dog uninvited. Then she brought Simon semi-invited. Simon was invited for a couple of days, and next thing you know, he was staying a whole week. But we love Milo. Milo is a handsome little dog. I love me some Milo. And we're going to hope that Bria is on her best behavior this season, okay? We're going to hope that she's on her best behavior. But, of course, the princess got there first. And you know the rules. Whoever get there first, get the best room. So I ain't even mad at her because I would have did the same thing. Child, I would have did the same thing, especially the room with the balcony. Oh, yeah, that'd have been mine. And, Milo needed space. The prince needed space, I mean, we got to respect Simon for coming with gifts, okay? He came with gifts. So Simon did what he needed to do. But her starting all that stuff with Silas last year, trying to say that Silas hated the white people and, and wasn't accepting of her relationship. It was chaos, child. She was reaching for all kind of stars, and she a little bitty thing, so she was overreaching, child. Her wingspan got longer than Scottie Pippen's. It was crazy. How do I feel about the shade that Alice got because he did the nasty? Oh, we're gonna get into it. I don't know. Oh, was it really shade though? Was it really shade? Because he act like he was a little shady too. Here go one of my guests. Y'all favorite Crowd favorite. Uh-oh, he coming in ready for the bluffs too. I see you dressed for the bluffs. Okay, okay.
I had to find my bluff fit, you know?
Yeah. Your Vineyard finest.
Don't worry, as the season progresses, I'll be more and more nautical.
You got your loafers on, baby? Because you know Alex and Nick definitely had. And
They're
Nick
in the
don't have.
background. They're in the background, Jay.
Nick don't have them loafers, baby. Nick comes with a wardrobe. I don't know who's gonna be packing more between you or Nick.
Yeah, I think he has me beat, honestly. I don't like packing with all those bags. So he definitely will have me beat. But you know, I can respect his wardrobe for sure.
Oh yeah, I definitely TM. My guy said last season he had an outfit for every day of the trip. He wasn't wearing nothing twice. I was like, oh, excuse us. Then he came in and took up all the baby closets downstairs this season. Listen, I was just getting into the beginning how Bria just got to the house and her and Milo are the first ones there. And of course, the princess got the best pick room.
Yo, you know what I was thinking? When they got to the rooms and they was like, all the guys are going to get, yo, you know, we'd have been tussling. It would have been a serious, legitimate problem. I'm sorry. I'm like, y'all ain't finna put us in these bunk beds. And I mean, we're here for like weeks. Yo, it's not like an overnight situation. You talking about days and days. It's not even like the guys have to share rooms. Nah, we would have had to shut the cameras off.
Let's figure this out. I was thinking after, you know, when Bria first came in, she was like, this house is nicer than the one last year. It's a lot bigger and stuff. And so I was like, okay, it's a lot bigger. That's cool. That means, you know, rooms for everybody. Then they got down there. I was like, is this a game room? Like, I was waiting to see some stuff set up like it's a den game room / something else.
That looks like what's his face said, it was his name, Alex, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, this looks like a man cave situation. It looks like a hangout spot. So I was totally thrown. And old girl, what's her name? Oh man, the one that Alex, we'll get into it later, but Summer, right? So she's like, oh, my friend is coming, so she's gonna get her own room. No, baby girl, if your friend is coming through, you and your friend go to room together. She don't get her own room? What? She's new to this. That would have blew me.
I thought that was there too, because it was a room clearly for sharing, and she shared it with Jordan instead of sharing it with her friend. And I was like,
no. Yeah,
why are you not sharing with your friend? But I was like, oh, you might want Alex to creep back.
I don't know what she wanted, but y'all need to figure that out. And then, you know, like Jay said, then they gave I need to learn these people's names better. But then they gave old boy his own room.
His name just left me. Preston.
Yeah, Preston. They sneaked him to the side and was like, oh, you get your own room. No.
I was trying to, I guess they directed Alex directly downstairs, how Alex did not see the extra room. They must have directed him to exactly downstairs, but I just knew when I seen this episode, I was like, Sean would be over here tussling and fighting every last one of us. Like, nope, that's it. I'm leaving. I'm getting my own space then. I'm getting my own space. But listen, at least they sticking to the rules of first come, first serve. Everybody was a good sport because they clearly are staying in the rooms. But as we know later on in this episode, Nick and Amira plan on having their ladies come through. So I'm like, how are we going to work that out? You know, I mean, if I was one of them, I'd definitely be arguing like, hey, listen, I got my lady coming through later on. We're going to have to work something else out. We're going to have to figure out some arrangements. Somebody going to have to move somewhere and bunk up with somebody because we're going to leave her a long time. I don't know. But
yeah, I think we should have had an immediate house meeting that night and figure out how the situation can be more equitable. That house looked really large, so I don't know if this was a production thing or what. No, I wouldn't be tossing my loafers. I wouldn't be tossing nothing. I would just be like, yo, we need to figure this out. Like, if some people need to have roommates, You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like this. For me, it's a little wonky to have that many people having to share together. It was like a real world situation because the other Summer House, which I watch, which is based in the Hamptons, they funny enough, there's times where people have had to stay together in the very beginning, but for the most part, people have everybody that comes through has their own own room situation, or sometimes people that are friends roommate up together. So either one, I'd have been on the phone with production. I don't know how y'all picked this house, but we need to get a hotel for me because living like we're in college, bunk beds, yo, it's not even like a couple of people sharing a room. It's like 6 or 7 people in one room.
Not to mention there's no bathroom down there either. So it's like no immediate, I got to go up. I got to literally get up, go all the way upstairs to wherever the bathrooms is on the other floor and hope nobody else is in there. That was wild too. It has to be definitely a production thing because I'm like, is this the last minute a booking that you guys literally couldn't find anything at the time frame big enough for everybody? Because last year it was big enough for everybody. I don't remember anybody having a problem until, I mean, because they even had the extra house. Remember, they had the extra house, which housed 2 extra bodies in there. And so about time we got actually 2 people kicked out, everybody fit in the house. So.
Yeah, I need to see the layout. And you know what? And Elson made a point, and I was just about to say this, because the crew is there, they must have, they have to have room for the crew that's filming with them.
No, they need to stay in that big room then. That's for the crew.
Let the crew thug it out. I'm telling you, this is why certain shows I just couldn't do. Like, not at this age and stage in life. I'm not finna be in a room with 7 guys. And then they had a little joke, right? Listen, it's another round, so we can get a little racy, right? We can get a little talk about some things. So they was like, there's no self-love time. Look, I need my privacy. I'm sorry.
Self-love, no kind of love, baby.
Any kind of love, you know what I mean? Like, look.
Only Alex tried to make the joke of it. We could bring somebody back. But like Amir is like, I don't want no more recap of last year because last year I had to hear it and it woke me.
He was getting on my nerves though, because I was like, bro, listen, you got your little shorty. I'm happy for you. You found somebody that wants you. But let's not get so stupid with this. Oh, if she find out, she gonna hang me upside down. If it got to be all of that, bro, get yourself together.
Amir's trying to remind himself that he got a girlfriend. That's why he keeps telling us every 5 seconds, I got a girlfriend, because he's not sure about his relationship at this point right now. He's not sure where it hangs in the balance when he get over here and see Jordan, because it's like, oh, she friends on me and I left it there so I can't get handsy. It's like, bro, you shouldn't be getting handsy anyway. She friend zoned you. Just move on, okay? Move on. Yeah. But we got a new girl in the house, Miss Noelle, and I heard the Southern draw when she came in. I said, okay. I didn't think she would be Atlanta because her draw is very thick. It's very thick. So I'm guessing she lives in Atlanta, but she said born and raised, but I was like, your country draw is Texas, Nashville, Memphis, Tennessee. Like you got that thick Southern.
She sounded like Nunu to me at first. She was her little voice was starting to get annoying, but she grew on me. She was that's Nunu. You know Nunu from
What's your AKA, Sean?
I know that's my. So unfortunately, she started to wear on me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I see you." My toxic trait. I can't escape them AKAs, boy. Having me in a chokehold.
And it's clearly you and Alex, child, because Alex was like, okay. They was over here trying to guess what she was from the thing. I think she is a alpha. I think she a cap. I think. I'm like, okay, bro, calm down.
Well, Summer about to fix that.
Like I said before you came, it's a winter and summer, baby, because she is cold and bitter. She is hot. It's a hot ice over there, child, because baby, she is not trying to play with Alex this year. He came in the house and she was like, weirdo. she called him all kind of names. I was like, Summer, I thought you was over it. You gave old girl clearance and everything. You supposed to be good. We supposed to be. It was just a summer fling.
That was a clearance test, boy, because she just didn't want to sound pressed. Because how you gonna pass somebody over and say it's okay, but then get all wild and emotional afterwards?
Well,
Jay thinks he's gonna succumb. I don't succumb to who though.
it sounds like it's Nick more so than Amir. Especially by the next episode, it sounds like it's Nick, because Nick was already getting feelsy in this episode when he was trying to take the pictures with the ladies. They like, move your hand and put it here. Like, he like, here? No, here.
He's touching everywhere. He's touching everywhere.
I'm like, nigga, all you got to do is stand behind him. I'm like, what are you doing?
He's like, oh, touch here, touch here. No, here? Here? Like, no.
Just get your hands up. Just get your hands up.
What's her name? Jordan is insufferable. She's just insufferable. She's so moody. Oh, come on, baby girl.
Okay. So what do you think the actual beef between Jordan and Jasmine is at this point right now? Because I know it's not the fact that Jasmine was trying to push relationships on people. It can't be. It really just can't be.
I think it was a couple of things. I definitely think it's probably a little bit of the fact that she, sometimes your friends, certain friends, like they can't accept your change. So I think Jordan was having a hard time seeing her in this new role as being a wife, and then going starkly from what she used to be. So it's like, even in this episode, she kept saying, well, I remember Jasmine when she had her hair shaved on the side. I remember Jasmine when we was at the plate, but Jasmine is married. So why you want to drag? She's like saying, I remember when. Yeah, but you can't drag her past up to beat her in her head with it, because that's the person that you want her to be again. She's transitioned. So you got to give her some room. Now, if you're like, yo, I think you're being fake, you're not being authentic to who you are in this marriage, that's a conversation you can have. But I think that's part of the problem, is Jordan wants the single behavior from her married friend. You got to understand and respect that she's in a different space. Now, the other part is, I'm not going to hold you. Jasmine last season was a little overbearing and annoying. She kept screaming and yelling and trying to tell people what to do. And, meanwhile, she's sliding down the wall, behind the scenes with her husband. So,
unfortunately for us, we don't know single Jasmine. We met married Jasmine. So we don't know how to tell the difference that Jordan is seeing and see where the problem lies. I see a little bit of what Jordan is saying is that she puts on, and she acts a little bit different, especially when Silas is around. I mean, because when they first came in the house, it's like, you guys know that you're not that close. So why are you like, oh, girl, this, that, like, y'all don't have that friendship right now. Just say, hey, girl, when she come in. Don't be over the top. Don't be doing too much of the extras. And Jasmine does have a tendency to do that. But to go to this extent of basically icing her out because she is married is kind of weird. Now, maybe I can understand a lot of these people don't like Silas. They don't, and we're going to just put it on the table because it's really the truth. They don't like the way he carries on with her and then the way she behaves. But you have to understand, as friends and stuff, when we go through our changes, sometimes we grow like this. Doesn't mean that we're less of friends. It's just that you got to accept me in my new phase now, where I got to accept you in yours. I'm not your single friend anymore. I'm your married friend now. So learn to love me in this phase. But that also doesn't mean don't invite me on trips and group outings that you guys are having, unless you want to sit here and just tell me the reason why you don't want to invite me is because of my husband. At least be that honest. And I can respect Jasmine for saying that. Like, you are usually my blunt, honest friend. You come straight forward, no chase with me. And now you're holding back. Tell me what it really is. And it's just like in that moment, Jordan should just tell her what it really is. If you don't like Silas and the relationship that they have, that's fine and fair for you or whatever. But you at least can respect her and say, hey, you know what? I need to back up because I don't want to disrespect your marriage. But I can't have the same friend that I once had. So in respect of your marriage, I just back off of you. Now, the rest of the people not calling her and all that, that's a whole nother conversation that Jasmine needs to have with the rest of them, because it seems like they all decided to ice Jasmine out. And it's stemming to me, in my opinion, it seems like it's because of Silas. So I'm curious to see how Jasmine is this summer without him, even though she's not drinking. And rumors have it, they came out now that she's with child. So, but at this point, she's not saying she's with child. Maybe she doesn't know, but she has an idea. Or maybe she knows and she doesn't want to tell them yet.
But yeah, I think she might be at that very early stage, and if she had felt more included, maybe she would have pulled them to the side and said, hey, listen, don't make this a big deal. But I'm pregnant. I don't want to talk about it on camera, but I'm telling y'all because we're tight. But they not inviting her to places. Yo, it seems like Jamaica was the place to go last year. So we was in the right place at the right time. But imagine that. You know what I immediately thought to? Like, what if there was a group trip and one of us didn't get invited? Could you imagine? Ooh, that's rough.
Like, we love Mark or whatever and stuff like that, but we just not invite Seaway because, for whatever reason or whatnot. That would be crazy. And if y'all don't invite me, I'm going the hell off. So y'all ain't gotta worry.
And I'll disappear. Run into the bushes like Homer Simpson, like
KOJO will probably be the only one that don't care. He'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll see y'all next.
No, KOJO would be super hurt. Are you kidding me? He would be hurt.
No, if we go to Houston and don't invite him, boy, he gonna cuss us off.
If we did a group trip and didn't invite him, he would be upset. His feelings would be hurt, but his avoidant nature, we might not know about it, but he would be hurt.
Yeah, he stopped inviting us to the platform. We'll stop being the platform.
Yes, all those panel invitations.
It'd be a whole new panel up there.
Just be KOJO disappear. KOJO has left the group chat. And
I need to go to the chat. It's a whole new panel.
Exactly. Replace. Yeah,
no, I thought it was kind of effed up. I was just like, just because she is married, don't assume that she doesn't want to do things with her friends. And then on top of it, Preston, you are Silas' boy. So I don't understand. I really don't get it. Like, it's different if you were just Jasmine's friend, because then I can assume that y'all all just kind of don't like Silas. But Preston, you're Silas' boy. You're in his fraternity, brother. So you can invite him. Now, if he's turning down the invites, that's a whole different thing. And if y'all just saving face because he's turning down the invites and maybe she didn't know, that's a different story. Because Silas does come a little bit across like, yeah, no, I'm not trying to be bothered with you people like that when it comes to my marriage and my relationship, because y'all get involved and then I can't control her the way I want to. And I'm going to use that word, control.
Conveniently, they filmed this season while T was shipped abroad. They was like, where's Cyrus? He got orders. Perfect time to film.
Let's go. Come on.
Cameras up now. It's winter. We're gonna film now.
Yeah. See, that's why they got this last minute house. That's why they was like, we got it, clearance. Let's go
right now.
Sorry, guys. Y'all can get what y'all get. Y'all can't pitch a fit. Shout out to Miss Misha. Yeah, but listen, they made it into the house. It is what it is. I want to talk about Preston real quick. Preston, I feel bad for Preston because we're just finding out his dad died, and then the nature of the relationship of him and his dad. And then on top of it, to say that his dad's family has basically X'd him and his sister out of the funeral and all other events, that's really disheartening to hear. I'm curious. I don't know if he'll tell us more about the family dynamic going forth. Maybe I don't know how it is, but it sounds like he didn't have his dad until middle school anyway. Then when he came around, he was kind of abusive and what they said, he drank a lot or something like that. And then he kind of didn't see him again until he got around to college. And I guess that's when Preston gave him the cold shoulder or whatnot. But that was a lot. That was a bit heavy to know that you're not even going to your dad. You're not even invited. Let's put it like that. You didn't get to make no arrangements, not even invited to your dad's funeral. That was wild.
I couldn't even imagine. I just, my aunt just passed away, as you know. So, and just getting on the heels of coming from that funeral, and that was my dad's youngest sister, and I can't imagine, like, your own children aren't part of your services. I couldn't imagine that, and as an adult, having to wrap your mind around your dad is not just gone, but he's gone, and you're not even a part of it. So I think I appreciate that, Jay. Yeah, so I couldn't even imagine that. I was like, that, how does that feel? To be just not acknowledged, and to not just, from your dad, but to have that rocky relation. But now that his dad's family is now treating them like this, so thanks, Chaz, I appreciate that. So yeah, no, that hit me hard, and they say grief comes in waves, and I'm sure it's going to hit him at a certain point. I know they didn't have the best relationship, but anytime you lose somebody that's significant in your life, it's just never an easy thing. So I hope healing for him and his sister, because that's a rough one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a little bit of grief hit him at that dinner table that night with all the fussing and fighting that they started to get into or whatnot. And being that is really the rift of this episode, let's really talk about and dissect this dinner table, okay? This lobster tail and tails. I was like, is this what we call it a dinner? Because I had a better name. That's what we call it a dinner.
You know how I feel about my seafood and some lobster. Yo, I would have been going in. Oh, man.
Now, first of all, I was already pissed. And you know why I was pissed with Bria?
That the pot was orange. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? First of all, that's a lot of Old Bay in just steamed lobster. It's not like you're making gumbo around here. You do that when you're making crab legs or crab, you could, doctor it up. But doing all that to the lobster, you're going to ruin the lobster.
First of all, Sean, she didn't have the seasoning even in the water before the crabs went into the water. She dumped all of that after the crab. The water wasn't even boiling before the crabs went into the water. I was like, what is happening? Who put Bria in charge again? Damn it. Y'all see what she did to broccoli last year? Leave Bria out of the kitchen, please.
But okay. You know what the problem is? Bria put Bria in charge.
And when she's in charge, you can't get out.
If I remember, it was I think, was it Alex or was it Amir? I don't know who was cooking, but she stepped in and she started like she started going in.
I was just like, when she dumped, that thing poured out. I was like, you do not need that much Obey, first of all, in the pot. You need a couple of other things. Obey is not the be-all, end-all to seasonings. I am sorry. I don't know who told y'all that. I just watched over at Potomac, and they were talking about having some Obey in the pot. I was like, at least they just wanted something in the pot. I understand that. But Obey, it's not the... I don't know who told y'all. And that's not even you don't use a powder. There's an Obey crab boil mix. It's not powder. It's actually like the actual bay leaves, black corn kernels. If you know, you know. It's a whole different bag. It's a crab boil bag. They could have bought that. Maybe they didn't have it. But to dump 2 of them cans, and the pot was this big, first of all. It wasn't big enough for all them down crabs up in there. The pot was this big. And I was like, she literally dumped 2 of them cans in there. Child Noelle had me cracking up. She was about the food. She was like, I don't know. It's for sure going to be seasoned. I was like, poor child. But anyways, down to this down table, and they get to talking and decide that they want to open up the can of worms. everybody's life. And we start off, who did we start off with? Who did I have in my notes that we started off? Oh, with Jasmine not drinking. You know, I get that that's the focus because everybody came in taking shots and they was hoping to be having fun Jasmine back. And it looks like we're not gonna have that fun of a Jasmine back this season. So they like, why you stop drinking? She of course told us it was because of Alex early in the episode. Then she said it was a party that they went to and something in her just said stop drinking. I think she drunk something and it didn't sit in her well. And she was like, okay, time to take a test. The test reads stop drinking. All right. Somehow that transferred over to an invite that didn't get to everybody in the group from Alex. Alex proceeds to explain that if you were on the list, then you would know about the party or whatnot. So it's not really his fault. He's just in charge of putting the party together. But there's an invite list out there, and if you're on it, you know. If you're not, you're not. Jordan lives in New York. Summer don't. Summer was visiting Jordan. Sounds to me that he was calling to invite Jordan maybe that day and seen Summer there. Yet neither one of them got the invite. However, that then leads to Bree talking about, well, y'all don't invite people everywhere because y'all went to dinner. And I didn't get an invite. And in turn leads to Alex saying, well, y'all clearly don't invite everybody anywhere because Jasmine. I said, if y'all don't stop deflecting around this daggone table and stick with Alex.
Yeah, that story had layers.
I was like, okay, but the layer of the story that really got me was you don't invite the person that lives in New York and you don't invite the person you've been in. I said, oh. Baby, no. No. Took that bottle, was like,
oh, girl, she poured the whole wine bottle in her glass.
Oh, I thought she was unbothered, Summer.
No, she is. I mean, I've never heard anybody describe it like that. And then to just be so, if she wanted to say that, she should have told him that one-on-one. But just at the dinner table, that was awkward to me. But I mean, before that, I still don't understand what he was explaining. Everybody was on a subscription list, and the people that subscribe to my channel gets the notification, and then the notification hit. So some people got the notification, and then I just notified the notifiers, and they said what they said in their things. I'm like, what?
But Bria got a personal invite.
Exactly. What are you talking about right now, bro? You are just, and then boom, like you said, deflection. Oh, but y'all didn't invite Jasmine in Jamaica. It's like, bro, he was fighting for his life. So he was like, okay, now I got it.
It was funny because he thought it was cool when Bria snapped and her and Preston got into it. And so everybody dispersed. And then, we got to talk about Bria and her quick apologies, which not really so quick, but she was talked off the ledge this time. So I'll give her, it was a little bit more genuine. However, when they came back to the table, he was like, okay, so we moving on. And Summer was like, no, we're still on Alex. You did not answer. I said, oh, she's not letting it go. It's about to be a long summer.
She said, I got my foot on the gas and there is no braking.
I need answers.
Let's go.
Baby, Summer was not, she was not here to play, baby. She was like, no, I need answers. Why wasn't I invited? Period. Hey, listen, my man was smart though, because he was like, oh, you with Jordan? Okay, well, Jordan ain't getting an invite either.
And she was like, you saw me. We were on FaceTime. You saw me sitting on the couch. He was like, yeah, I know I saw you.
He said,
there was no invite. If you were subscribed, you would have seen. But since you're not subscribed, and I didn't want to personally invite you, so there you go.
Right. Jordan didn't subscribe, so talk to Jordan.
Exactly. If I was inside of you, then you should have had a subscription to my services. So hey,
You figured out. But let's talk about Bria and why she didn't get an invite to that dinner. No, Bria not gonna work long enough. Okay, because he had to clear out when Bria jumped in. I was like, Bria, it's not about you, ma'am, sit down. And Preston was like, what is happening right now? Because first of all, we still trying to figure out what Alex's answer is to this question. And here you go, Bria, piping up, talking about, well, I didn't get an invite to a dinner. Like, ma'am, you were not staying with them. They are clearly living in the house together. It looks like an impulse thing. Like, girl, you want to go eat? Let's go eat. It wasn't nobody else in the group. It was just them two. So I'm at your house. We hungry. We going out to eat. Sit down, ma'am. Hush. It is not about you. Bria, once again, inserting herself in some stuff that she ain't got nothing to do with. Then her and Preston snap. And they going back and forth and back. Or whatever. And Preston is like, listen, I've been on chill with you. I've been on chilling with you, girl, already and stuff. I'm usually on your side, but I'm about to pop off this year. I see it. And here she go. You want me gone? You want me gone? Yes. Yes.
This episode was triggering for me in so many different ways. I hate unnecessary arguments. Sometimes I'll be finding myself in some unnecessary arguments. So this triggered me in so many levels. So
at least they apologized and made up for now. So there's that.
But Bria's a trip.
You want me gone, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the guys is like, yeah, so I can get that room.
That reminded me of the car scene in Houston.
It's cold in here. Well, you can walk.
It's cold.
Well, you can walk. Wait, hold on, because I see backstage we got somebody else, but I don't know. Is camera not working? Why are we talking about this? Not the friend of God.
Not friend of God. KOJO.
Get out my head.
Friend of God.
KOJO, you there? I don't think we got him yet. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a second. Oh, wait, did he just pop in? No, he didn't pop in. We give him a second. We'll see. Or whatever, because I was about to say, speaking of the Houston. Oh my God, that was definitely it. Let me see something. That was definitely what was given too. No, we can't hear you. Okay. But yeah. He's saying he's ready. Okay, there we go. There you go.
Listen, guys, I've only watched 20 minutes of the show. It's carnage. I haven't finished it on 1.75 speed, but listen, it's carnage. What is going on? I'm 20 minutes in. I'm hearing people are going to kill people. The ball's going to be hung up. I'm hearing that people are not happy with a deployed husband going off to seas. I'm seeing friendships that weren't finished. I'm seeing people that are in relationships but then didn't finish the relationship off because they went off. It's carnage. It's carnage. So listen, I'm going to stream it to my channel. I'm going to be behind the scenes. I'm still watching it. So I'm going to support you from behind, guys. Okay?
No, we were just you're going to get to a point where we talk about the argument of Bria, and she could be like, you don't want me here, and Sean brought up Houston in the car ride.
Oh Lord. Don't touch me. I'm gonna drop down, but I'm gonna stream it to my channel. Okay. Just drop me behind. Thank you, guys.
All right. Yeah, but go on, Sean.
KOJO still must be in a chokehold from his LaRon situation popping up on the channel yesterday.
Man.
Because he know good and hell well we're supposed to have watched this a long time ago.
He in the chokehold, all right.
Yeah, he's definitely in a chokehold.
And if y'all don't know what we talking about, last night we had the super panel for Ready to Love. It's over on Little Black Book channel. Please go over there and check it out. And it's over here on my channel. But if you want the full thing, because it starts more on KOJO's channel, I got a couple of bit more pieces over there, so you can get the full thing. But do stop over here and hit the like for me too real quick before you run over there. Anyway, we back on it. Yeah, so I don't know. This dinner left unresolved because Jasmine then explains that she's kind of mad that she hasn't been getting the invites to all the events and things, and everybody just kind of sit there dumbfounded, like they don't know what's going on. And eventually, she say that Jordan says she will have the conversation, but she doesn't want to have it in front of everybody or whatnot, which is fine. But also, I was like, what is the conversation though, Jordan? What is the real issue though? Because it's giving me more, it's more than that she's just married. It's something else. It feels like it has to be something else. It's like you're mad at her almost as if she did something to you. Not that she's just married and she's a different person and she's changed and maybe she tried to push you into a relationship or two last year, but it's giving more. I don't know.
Jordan is insufferable for a lot of reasons. I'm sorry. And I think Jordan, because if everybody who watched the first season, she was on this whole, she's not having sex thing, then I'm a SummerHouse, Winter House, SummerHouse, Martha's Vineyard, all of it. I watch all of the shows. So I don't know if you saw, Jay, but Jordan also showed up on Winter House. I think the last season of Winter House that they had, I think they were in Vermont or, somewhere like that. Unfortunately, she was not getting any action over there, and she was tussling. She liked the guy that really didn't like her. He was in a relationship. It just imploded. So she hasn't gotten anything, She hasn't had her whistle wet just yet, let's say. So I think Jordan needs to figure it out. She's a pretty girl, but she's so mean and insufferable. I'm sorry. She is. I liked her in the beginning, but she's just mean to me. I don't know.
I hear that. Yeah, she's something else. I mean, it's just she comes across, I don't want to necessarily use the word bitter or whatever and stuff like that, but she comes across hurt, very hurt, like something has happened in her life. And I get it. You were a Playboy bunny, but you're in a space where, of course, man is going to show you a lot of attention, but then she doesn't want the attention. She doesn't want the man just to be looking at her. She wants them to get to know more of her. And I get that too. You don't want to just be an object all the time. But baby, if I lead with, oh, I used to be a Playboy bunny working in the house, and not necessarily a bunny, but wherever they bar I forgot that the area department of it they worked in, but you're known for that. You're been in the magazine. You've done things. So which most people are going to see you is for that part of you. And yes, that you're a journalist and these other things, but a lot of people are going to lead with that part of you. It's up to you to redirect them to, hey, listen, there's more about me. Get to know more about me, and you can do it in a nicer way. She doesn't seem to be able to do that. It's just like she's been scarred by something. And now that everything that gives her any little bit of hurt, she's just going to put a wall up to everything. Because right now she got a wall up to Jasmine. And it's like Jasmine really has, as for what we see, Jasmine has not really actually hurt you. Jasmine is in a new stage in her life, which is expected when you get married. I understand, like Jay say, so a lot of us can't accept our friends when they were ratchet and now they're married. We just want them to be this way all the time. But if we're real friends, I want you to be growing and I want you to be happy. So if your new life is marriage and that makes you happy, that's what I want for you. Now, if I see some things in your marriage that I don't necessarily agree with, yeah, I might back off because you know what, that's your thing to deal with. I might tell you about it and then I have to back off. But I'm not going to have this wall up against you every time I see you. I'd be glad to see you. Like, hey, you out? You ain't with your man? Girl, we about to have some fun. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm definitely not going to push you into bad stuff or anything. So I just don't get it. Maybe during the course of the season, we'll get the actual truth on why Jordan has this way about her when it comes to Jasmine. But for you just to literally start attaching to the rest of the friend group like be super tight and just ice her out. That's so weird to me. And to the point that you're even coming into this thing talking about, I kind of don't really want to see her. I don't look forward to seeing her.
Yeah, I I kind of experienced it a little bit when I got married. It wasn't, it's a very weird thing, you know? And I think sometimes people just have a hard time adjusting to you. And I had it with some of, you know, the friends that I had that are women, and then I had it like with, you know, not all, not like maybe one of my guy friends. And because they're not used to you. And for me, it was just an availability thing, right? So I'm married now. My priority is going to be more over here. Whereas before, it's like you call me, I'm coming through, right? There wasn't, if something was being had, no matter what it was, I'm going to show up. I show up late, but you know, I'm going to be there, you know. But at the end of the day, I was pretty much always available, you know, for my close friends. And then it became a shift. And not only was I married, you know, it started a little bit before my marriage, like once we started to get serious, because, you know, at the time she had 2 kids. So I'm also spending time getting to, that we're teenagers. So we're spending time getting to know each other. And that takes a lot of time. So I understand a little bit.
The one thing I might be guessing is this marriage came out the blue for Jordan. She wasn't invited. That's what it's giving. Like, I can understand the attitude. Hey, we've been real close, but I wasn't invited to your wedding. I wasn't in part of any of your events to it and all this stuff like that. But if that's the case, just say that. I feel hurt because I wasn't a part of some of the biggest moments in your life. I thought we were really close, but obviously we weren't. And it didn't. And if that was the case, I would have expected her to come in with that energy last season. She really didn't. She came in happy to see her, but when she was realized, oh, I can't have my turn up buddy the way I can. And it was more so with Silas than Jasmine. So I was like, you're mad at Silas, not Jasmine. What's the issue? But she was popping off on the men last season too. I mean, we got to remember she had a few altercations with the men back and forth. All up in, what was that one guy, Frank? I don't remember Bria's friend that came by, but all in his face about stuff. And
Simon?
No, not Simon. The friend that got kicked out, the one that pooped in the toilet.
Oh yeah. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name.
He was a jerk.
Yeah, but she was a little firecracker all type of ways with the men, even a little bit with Amir at first. So
I think she likes to be, because she's the pretty girl, so she's used to attention, but then she wants the attention, but then she doesn't want the attention, and she wants a little bit. You know, we've seen that play out, right? In our dynamic.
You're another part of Houston.
With pretty girls who like attention, but then don't want attention, but then want it again, and want you to ignore them sometimes and not all the time.
Unhand me, you heathen.
So look, you gotta know that sometimes everybody's not going to be, you know, receptive to that energy. Because I think, truthfully, Jordan might be low key, like she wished she would have had a chance at Alex. Like Alex would have tried to holler, but she was being so, when you're icy like that and somebody's like trying and then you get icy, some people are just going to be like, hey, and those people are me. Because if I try a little bit and then you get icy and then you expect me to turn around, I don't do that. I don't play that game. I'm not going to get caught up in a push and pull cycle with you. Either you're interested or you're not. And if you want me to like chase you down, I'm not chasing anybody down. I'm not. So I think that's Jordan's problem. She doesn't know how to flirt. She doesn't know how to be a little gentle and let that wall down. You know, you touched on like there's some hurt or something. So something's there. So she can't let her wall down enough so that a guy can get in and get to know her a little bit. So
or maybe she was expecting to be the married one first. Who knows? You know, it's just weird though. Something you did say too, if we go back to season 1 a little bit, she did want Alex to chase her. She wanted Alex to chase her the way Amir chased her. But Alex peeped game. You know, and Alex chased in his way. He did chase. He chased in his way. He highlighted a lot of the ways that she actually likes to be viewed, and he tried to give her that attention. But then, like when Summer came, Summer was a lot more easier to get along with. She had a more pleasant personality, and so he just like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop this pursuit of Jordan, especially because my boy over here, Amir, is pressed and steady going for it. I'm not about to compete with him on it. Let me just move over here. So that's like her loss. You did want Alex a bit. You didn't give him no shot, no opening. You gave him no opening to say, okay, come on in. And I actually thought she was. I thought she was. I even thought she would have gave a mirror opening. I don't know. I don't really know what she wants. I don't know if she would know what she wants either. So, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I saw someone say, were they married during like the pandemic? And I believe so. I think their relationship, because that's how it sped up, because they were like on top of each other. And I think that was the quickness of it, because it happened during that time period. I think 2020, 2021, whatever, in that time. And they were together in a bubble, and then boom, decided to go get married. And then it just, so when the show filmed, we were watching it last year. But at the end of the day, it's not filmed in real time. So
yeah, they were definitely married in the bubble. But that's still, if that is your reason for being mad at her, that was her impulse decision. Let it be. And if that is the reason, just tell her, hey, listen, I was not a part of big changes in your life. I feel some type of way about it. How do we go forward? But to me, it doesn't give Jordan wants to go forward. And honestly, I don't know how you see it, but to me, it's not seeming, because even that boat conversation, it was just kind of, yeah, I hear you, but whatever. It wasn't giving a friend trying to make amends.
Yeah, I don't think she wanted to. She was more concerned about enjoying her time on the boat than resolving her issue with Jasmine, because I think she may see it as, you know what, I don't think we're on the same page, and I don't want to hang around you. So it's unfortunate, but I think she doesn't really want a real friendship with her, because she was like very hesitant to talk. And if she didn't want to ruin the boat or like change the mood on the boat, she could have said, listen, I definitely want to talk to you. I think we should have a conversation. Let's turn up. Cheers. Oh, I know you're not drinking. Let's get you a mocktail. Let's just cheers. And like, let's just have a good time, like old times right now. And then when we get back to the house, you and I could chop it up. But I want us to have fun on the boat like we used to. You know what I mean? Like, she could have left it at that. But she was so dry. She was so not wanting to talk. She was like, you could see in her body language and everything that she just really seemed to not be interested in having that conversation at all.
And in all fairness, I won't totally discredit her in this moment, because she did say at the table, I don't want to have it in a public setting. This is still a public setting. Mm-hmm. We're confined on this boat. So if we actually start getting into the thick of it and blowing up, we're stuck on this boat in front of everybody. So this wasn't the best time for Jasmine to try to have this conversation. It was like, let it go. And this is part of, I think, one of the reasons that Jordan be irritated with her is because you keep forcing your time and your will on other people. It's like she told her last year, can we just have genuine conversations? And maybe it's the cameras. Maybe it's the cameras that's making her feel some type of way, like you're putting on because the show is here. You're not addressing things like you normally would. If we were in real time, in real life, you would not be trying to force this conversation. So are you doing it genuinely? Or is this just because the cameras are here and you're trying to get a moment? What is the issue? So I can see it like on both sides a bit, but Jordan needs to soften herself up a whole lot, because she is very hard.
Yep, there's definitely always two sides. And I see some people talking too in the comments about talking about, old times. And we covered that in the beginning. Exactly. It's like Don't keep telling me what I used to do if I'm doing something different now. I understand, we connected on this, but let's reestablish and just still continue our friendship on whatever we're on, and let's just work on it. If we're not doing the same things, then hey, move around, but let's talk about it. Don't just, disappear. Don't ghost. You don't need to ghost your friends. You can have a conversation. But I think sometimes it's hard to put words to it. And sometimes if you see somebody move differently or something you may not like, it's hard to put a word to it. So you just kind of ghost them or you back off of them. And it's the person still winds up being hurt, just like in a relationship or in a situation. When you ghost a person, it never ends well, because somebody doesn't have a resolve. You know why you're ghosting, but the person on the other end is like, hey, what changed? What's going on? Talk to me.
Especially if the ghosting implies that you're leaving me, but now you're hanging with everybody else I introduced you to, or people that granted, everybody is not somebody. She hung with some of these people before, but her and Jordan were like this, and everybody else was there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now we're not there, but you're now tight with everybody else. Now you're even tight with people I introduced you with. That's very hurtful, because now it feels intentional.
Yeah, that would be a problem for me. For sure. If you've established some friendships outside of me, and then now y'all are having your own separate friendship outside of me, going on trips outside of me, doing things that I'm not invited to, I'm like, yo, is this a conversation? Like, am I being talked about? Like, yo, Sean is on this, and everybody's like, yeah, he on that BS.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna set up over here. It's like, nah.
And it'd be different if it was just like the one Jamaica trip. Like, okay, maybe. I mean, even that one is a big trip, so we all planning this. But like 1 or 2 events, I'm not around, I'm not in town, I'm not, okay. But literally everything since I last seen you, we haven't really had real conversation since I last seen you. But then there's this confusion too, because one person says they haven't really had real conversation, and I could have swore the same person that said they haven't had real conversation is also said that if you check the phone records, they talk all the time. Yet she's bringing up a text message where I didn't respond to her about how we're gonna move forward. And now it's like, okay, well, I see where Jordan is coming from. You left me on red when I'm asking you how we're gonna move forward. Well, clearly you don't want to move forward because your husband isn't now involved. And you already know that me and him have beef on, I don't agree with the way he controls you when it's time for you to have some fun and turn up. When it's time for you to just be Jasmine, the Jasmine that I know. And that's a fine slope for us as friends to walk with our newly married friends, because yes, the husband or the wife is going to get a different version of our friend. And it might not be just the turn up version. Some people do change for their partner in a different direction, and some ways that our partners might not agree with or whatever. Like if I go with a partner and I have a partner that doesn't drink, and I used to be the drinking friend all the time, well, out of respect, my partner's now living in sobriety, I cannot be drinking around that person. So therefore, yes, I'm going to be a different person when I'm with them. But then when I'm with you, I might not drink. I might have a drink or two or whatever. It doesn't mean that I'm actually not, I'm pretending to be somebody else, or I'm not being real. It's just, I have to live a different way when I'm with this person. I have to respect them and, their lifestyle, just the way I have to respect you and your lifestyle when I'm with you. When we get all together, it's going to make it be a little bit awkward, but you have to respect, now I am bonded to this person. That's my person. So leave the person that outside of that there, and now get to know this person and love me for this person, please. It's like when me and you are in a group, me and you are different from when we're solo. You know what I'm saying? We interact with each other differently in a group than when we are solo. Me and you solo might have different conversations that we may not have in a group. It's just friendship.
Yeah, I think people have a hard time navigating those group dynamics. I think, with us and our friend group, we do a good job of it. Like, cause there's some, amongst all of us, we sometimes there's overlap because, some people have a stronger connection here or there on a particular thing. But I think when we're together, it's always fun. Like when we're in a group setting together, we're going to have a good time. And I think, even Jamaica showed that more often because now you had like different people coming together. That did cause just a little bit of chaos, but we managed through it, for the first.
It was good chaos. We needed it.
The last day. But you know what?
It got spicy.
But the point is, everybody knew like there would be times that you and C-Ray might run off and do something, right? Or sometimes, me and you are sitting over here and we're chatting and chopping it up, or you and Kojo, or there's three of us, and then we're over with Phil, so there's like so many different people. And I think people have to learn how to navigate that. And then also, I think, I know we've been on Jordan a lot, and you were adding some nice color to her. But I think Jasmine, as the married person, also has to understand, look, I can't be in everything. As much as I want to be invited, I also have to understand I'm just not going to be in everything, so I can't necessarily get in my feelings because I'm not going to be in everything. So I also have to know how to not take everything so personal, because sometimes it's just not personal. Sometimes it's just not what it is.
We want to have a solo singles trip. That's what it is. We can't have married people on the trip, because if I'm on a trip and I ain't getting I'll be damned I listen to you again. Get some, because they was in there getting it in first season. Okay, it's no surprise if the baby is made. Okay, because they was getting it in every time they got into a fight. They got it in.
The baby's Martha.
Name that baby Martha, baby. They was getting it in a lot last season, and it did make people uncomfortable a little bit in the house. We got to constantly listen to you get it in, and we literally all in here single. It's the reason why married friends tend to try to find other married friends to have those. When we're in couple situations, we do the couples trips together. Then when I need my me time, I might have a girls trip. So it's like, Jasmine, just speak up and say, hey, listen, I know I'm married, but I want to have girls trips with y'all still. Don't take me off the Evite list. I got to say Evite because, I got to just the events and the Evites. Don't take me off the list, just keep me on there. I might have to if I turn it down, don't take offense, because my situation. But and it's like, that's the thing though, Sean, like you said, she has to understand that. But sometimes we just want to be invited. Even if we know we're going to turn it down, we just want to know that you are thinking about me when you're planning something.
Yeah, I can respect that a little, because I told one of my friends, she had said to me, this is like during the time when I was married, she was like, you don't come, so I just stopped inviting you. I was like, once or twice over the course of a year, there's something that I don't come to. Just, don't take it for granted. So she invited me to something, and then I was like, all right, I came, right? So she was like, okay. It's like, listen, it's a work in progress. And I think sometimes people, again, it just goes back to them being locked in on how you used to be. And I think that people sometimes have a hard time accepting a different version of you, or when you show up differently. So it's like, don't be so quick to say, oh, well, you didn't. It was like, we've been friends for 10 years. And you get mad at me over 1 year where I didn't, there was a couple of times I didn't show up. It's like,
now, if I keep sending you Evites and you don't never show up, that's a different story. Because now they're gonna stop. Because I'm not about to keep doing it. Like, now I'm hurting myself. I'm actually hurting myself. So it's the catch-22 of it both. But I feel like these ladies didn't really explain much in this moment, especially Jordan or whatnot. But let me see if my guy is ready. I see him in the background. He looked like he ready for carnage. Get him up here.
He's wrapped in a blanket of foolishness. So
I literally just finished watching the episode. Guys, I'm in the game. Okay, I watched at 1.75 speed and stop. Okay, all right, on a highway express. I got some thoughts. But what are you guys talking about? I just jumped in. What were you guys just talking about? So I can jump in on that.
Just the conversation between Jasmine and Jordan and where their friendship
Yeah.
lies. Yeah. So
So I didn't watch season 1, so I have no clue what their pre-existing relationship was like, right? But just taking it as an argument, and two people are not really getting on very well, right? Now, marriage is one thing that can separate people because naturally people incline to their partner, and you spend a bit more time with them, right? Which then can make people who were friends originally, the person on the other end, can sometimes feel a little bit left out. And But what was interesting, what listening to that conversation, is Jordan never really gave an actual reason as to why she felt the way she felt, which means there's something deeper that she's not really fully expressing, which is probably meaning that there's something deep within herself that she felt inclined in a relationship, that if she says, it will come out and it'll probably make her look bad, right? So she might have her own personal thoughts about the situation, right? Because I know there's a little clip where there was a little conversation with her man or whatever. I think did they get into it or whatever. I don't know if that's a man or they showed a little text or whatever. And I was like, wait, I don't know what's the pre-existing. I don't know who started it. I don't know who got into beef, but getting into a beef with somebody's man, that's always a situation that always creates a little bit of animosity in a relationship. Sometimes a friend might feel like, you know what, I don't want to get too close because if I'm getting argued with your man, I'm not trying to ruin your relationship. I'm not trying to be that bad person. And that can make the person feel like they have to separate from you as well. But, just kind of hearing Jasmine a little bit, she did give a bit more context in terms of how she felt. I felt she was a little bit more open. I'm not saying she was all the way open, but she was a little bit more open in terms of maybe sharing her feelings, I felt, and just kind of sharing what was going on. So I think, just watching it, I would have wanted Jordan to kind of give us a bit more context in terms of how she felt about the situation so we can really analyze where it's gone wrong. And I don't know, maybe we'll get that in episode 2 or not. But yeah, whenever someone can't give you the full context, usually it means that there's something they're going to say which is either going to really break the relationship, or they are feeling something that they know they can't share. Like, let's say I was jealous over Sean and he got married. How am I going to explain that I'm jealous over Sean and I got married? So you're not going to explain it. What you're going to do is you're going to deflect, and you're probably going to use something else as an excuse. So for instance, I'm going to go, you know that whole beef I had with your man, but really and truly, oh well, your girl, actually, if I say that sounds gay. Pause. No, did he? But then obviously, and then obviously, you deflect and you don't want to say the truth. So instead of us actually fleshing it out and get to a real kind of baseline and being really honest with ourselves about how we feel, we're going to be going around in circles, because I'm going to always be fighting I'm always going to be talking to the facade of you, because you're not giving me the truth. If you tell me you're jealous, and we can start working on that and be like, okay, what was the reason why you're jealous? It's like, okay, cool, maybe I felt like you was getting close to your man and it made me feel like I was left alone and my best friend's gone, like, you know what I mean? But if you don't do that, you leave the other person kind of thinking, what do I do this? Like, how am I meant to deal with the situation? And as Jasmine ended on my last point, as Jasmine said, you can talk about one text, but I've been calling you and you haven't been answering, which means you're not ready to fix a relationship, Jordan. You're not ready to fix it. You're not ready to be honest about what's going on. Yeah.
you got the gist of it, is pretty much what happened. I'll recap you on a little bit of season 1. Her and her man had recently got married during the pandemic. And so this is like a new version we're all seeing the new version of Jasmine. Granted, we, the audience, don't know Jasmine prior to marriage. We only know the Jasmine that comes into marriage. So the version that Jordan once had, she doesn't have anymore. Her and Silas got into it, which is Jasmine's husband. Her and Silas got into it over, she felt like he was kind of controlling her a bit in her movements and how she behaved. She couldn't be herself. She was no longer the Jasmine that Jordan knew or whatever, whenever she's around Silas. So a bit of her contingency with her is that she's putting on for her husband. She's not able to be herself anymore. But Jasmine, we just got through talking about it. Jordan is a bit of a way anyway. So she seems to have a problem with a lot of things that people do, especially when it comes to the male sex. So there's something there that's deep rooted in Jordan that makes her feel some type of way when it comes towards men and their energy towards women. So.
Does she have a point about the controlling? Is it, have you feel like there's some control there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut my stinking mouth.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of flack during the season and after, and then old boy was interviewing with people on social media and stuff and tried to clear his name up because he was definitely called misogynistic and controlling, and he definitely showed up that way because there was a couple of times that he was like, they had an argument about how she wasn't ironing his clothes the right way. That was a famous argument that they had. Sometimes he would kind of be kind of archaic in his views of what he expected her to be doing. He's an African brother, so I don't know, what is he? I'm not sure if he's Nigerian. I'm not sure where he's from, but he used that a lot to talk about why his views were the way they were. So.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see Jasmine this year without Silas, so we're gonna see what we get. We won't get the drinking Jasmine, but we'll see if she get a little loose without Silas there, because he was on her head. The ironing was one thing, her waking up to make breakfast for him and cooking for him, being there when he called, because they've been in a bubble together, so it's just been them two. So he's used to that dynamic. So now that she's in the house, he still wanted that dynamic, and that was what the problem was last year, is that he wanted to keep that dynamic of her still doing the things that she did. Oh yeah, he's from Liberia. The things that she was doing while it's just them two, while she wants to be on vacation. She's like, I'm on vacation. We're on vacation. I want to just be able to lay in a bed and not do these things. And he's like, well, you can't. I still need to eat. I still need these things. So.
Well, I guess obviously, I mean, I don't know him, but obviously he has to do a better job of obviously communicating that, because obviously I'm also thinking he's regimented. Mm-hmm. So being regimented, you probably want things at the same time, same place, same time. You want a routine so you can work around, because that's what his job is. It's going to have routine. So he needs to find a better way, obviously, of communicating that, as to like, and this is always about communication and how you deliver a message. You know what I'm saying to you? Because like, if he explains it that it's routine, and I'm so used to routine that if I don't have routine, I feel out of place. I think we can all kind of understand that. But if you just come out and be like, I expect, and this is what we always talk about in relationships, like when people start saying I expect, they're not talking about I expect, they're talking about I obligate you to. And obligation is always going to hurt people. Like, people feel like they're being inclined whenever they're saying you're obligated. You know what I mean? It's a bit like the whole conversation between if I take you to dinner, does that mean you have to have sex with me? Yeah, well, when you say that, you're obligating somebody, right? That's not an expectation, that's an obligation. And that always sits very nastily with people when that happens. Same with men and women, when women say, I expect you to pay for the dinner. No, you're obligating me, and that's very different. And at that point, I don't have a choice. And at that point, it doesn't feel like it's me being free with myself. So he needs to look at that. You know what I mean? I'll go and watch season 1. I'll try and skip through it quick. But yeah, if that's what's going on, I can see maybe why the girls maybe might not be as close. I can see why. No. I can now I'm really deep in it. I'm deep in it. Jermaine, I'm deep in it. You know what I mean?
But that's what we were kind of saying earlier. And if that's the case, Jordan needs to express, hey, it's kind of because of your husband. Well, we're kind of backing off on you, because at the end of the day, without explaining it to her, and you guys are taking group trips, it's going to make her feel some type of way. And if it's not intentional to make her feel is secluded from the group, then you need to say, hey, when your husband's around, you are a bit this way and we don't like it. And maybe because, again, like I was just telling Coach Sean before you got on, she's still in a group setting. So this conversation is still not going to be had, because she asked her once time, already told her before, like, hey, I don't want to have this in the public dynamic. I just want to have a one-on-one. And maybe in the one-on-one, she'll be able to express, your husband is my problem. I think that is a lot of the problem.
That's fair. I'm gonna need Jordan to use the same energy Shanice was using at the table, because why? You know what I mean? Call him out. You know what I mean? Out yourself while you're there too. Yeah. Shout out to Shanice. I like
that was Summer.
I'm gonna call you out and I'm gonna call myself. Summer, sorry, apologies.
Yeah. What you think about Summer and Alex on the call out?
Hey, listen, you know what? I get it. Listen, you know when you get played, it's hard. I understand where someone's coming from. She feels she got played. Yeah. And Alex, is a typical playboy. You know what I mean? He uses any excuse to get out of there. My man said, listen, because one guy sent me a picture. I mean, Nick sent him a picture saying, obviously, because they were out and about, he didn't want people to know. So that's why he started pulling, what kind of girl am I with? What kind of girl do you think you're with, bro? Like, they took a photo, bro. Like, what's going to happen to you? You are saying you want to be single and you're going to play the game anyway. So what is the beef here? He's like, he don't want to be caught. He don't want to be known. He don't want to be seen. He want to catch a case kind of situation. But I think a situation obviously with Alex and Summer, I get both points of view. Do you know what I'm saying to you? You know, I know he didn't invite Summer and someone else, and Jordan and whoever. Jordan's also in New York as well, I think. So he didn't invite them because he didn't want you there. He didn't forget. He didn't want you there, right? Probably thinking to himself, I don't want no petty drama. I don't want to have to look in your face. I don't want to do my show and know that you're in the crowd. I don't want you to be looking at me whilst I'm maybe talking to another woman and then you getting stressed and making me feel stressed. He didn't want to invite, and he should have been honest about it. If he's a real G, he should have been honest about it. Listen, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want no drama. Simple as. So I forgot to invite you. You didn't forget nothing, bro. Like, come on, be honest about yourself. You didn't forget. And when you do that, it just looks. You have to find a way to tell the truth without, you know, we were telling us about LeBron yesterday. It's like, you have to find a way of telling the truth without it becoming stinging. So just be honest about it. Now, I personally think the way that Summer's acting, we've all been there. She caught a little bug, okay? She caught a little bug and it touched her, yeah? And he sensed the touching and he said, no. I've got to detach because it's going to get to a place where I can't separate. You know, it's going to get really dangerous. So I also understand that point of view, because when he walked in the room, do you know how I knew she was touched? It's when she was on the kitchen counter and she was perched over and she didn't want to look at him and he didn't even want to say nothing either. That's when I knew that, okay, she's been touched. And she's like, I don't even care if he comes. Yes, you do. You do care if he's here. You do. And it's okay. But we've all been there. You know what I'm saying? When you're touched, when the person has more power than you because they're showing you they don't care about you. And that's the reality. It feels like he doesn't care about her, and that's why she's hurt more, because she does care about him in some shape or form. And we've all been there. You know what I mean?
Small recap, Sean. You could quote me if I'm wrong on it, but Alex uses anything as an excuse not to engage with people. Because last year with Shanice had an incident with the boyfriend. The boyfriend said she was stalking him and doing this, and it came out into some papers. Alex got some wind of it, and he used that to pull away from talking to Shanice. Now, Shanice is the one that's always in the bathing suit, okay? So he used that to not talk to Shanice, end up talking to Summer. We in a friend group. First of all, this is sometimes why you don't talk to people in the friend group, because you know you're going to have to see these people again if you don't have no real intentions on being something with them. You should just kind of like, if y'all both can't hold it to what it is, y'all should not do it. Now, I think from jump, Summer might have thought she can be with the F boy, because she tried to sit there and say, well, he told me he was going to be an F boy, so that's what I want. I want to F the boy. Like, no, ma'am, you did not stick to code, because now you're sitting over here talking about when you were inside of me, that's kind of like a form of love. No, baby, that's a form of I'm inside of you. You're receiving and I'm giving. That's all that is. There's no love in this exchange. So yes, like you said, she caught the bug. Now she's trying to act unbothered, telling Noelle she can go ahead and talk to him. Like, girl, don't set that girl up, because you about to blow up on everybody. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, when she said the love thing, I'm like, oh man. And he was looking at her like, what? But I understood what her concept was. It wasn't like, you love me. It was like we shared an intimate moment, right? But when you're dealing with somebody that it's not mutual. So obviously she expected a different level of care from him than he was willing to give. And I think that's why it becomes touchy when people in friend groups start touching, because there's those unmet expectations. And it's like, you would think that we were friends, right? And then we went past friendship. You would kind of care about me a little bit. But unfortunately, in certain people, and, you know, I know KOJO, you can delve more into this, but I think Alex is showing some kind of avoidant tendencies. So like for somebody that's an avoidant like that, we can be intimate, but that doesn't mean I want to be connected with you. And it's going to have to be on his terms. And if his terms means that when I let you in close, you stress me out, then I'm just going to push you back, because he doesn't, I think he still hasn't like processed how to navigate things. So, and that's why he jumped away from Jordan. Is because when he got a little close to try to give her stuff, she still had all these walls. He was like, this is too much work. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to deal with somebody. Because that's what happened last season, Kojo. And hopefully you can like connect a little bit of that. But Alex was pursuing Jordan, but then he backed off of her. And then him and Summer started to kind of, you know, have their little thing. And then it took off camera.
No wonder why Jordan backed someone then on the table. He was like, let me get mine in as well while you're there. I mean, listen, hey, look, you know what? Now you said that, I can see a bit more of it. You know, it's unfortunate. You play with the devil, you know, you can get touched. It's just that, because and this is what me and Jay talk about this all the time. There's the dark arts of the truth. If I tell you the truth, can't get mad at me at the end. Like, you can't, because I told you the truth. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, when someone, like, listen, when women tell me, listen, they don't want a relationship, I can't get mad at them. I can't get mad at myself if I end up falling in some situation. You have to be accountable. And this is where people need to be really real themselves. Summer has to be real of herself. Otherwise, she's going to ruin herself, okay? And summer will be a very long summer, and it'll turn into a quick winter. I'm telling you. Because if you're not honest with yourself in terms of taking accountability for your actions. He doesn't want a relationship. He told you that from the very beginning. Him being inside you does not mean anything apart from him being inside of you. And so when you knew that, because you kept on telling us how he came to visit you here, visit you there, and there was nothing about it. He didn't want nothing from it. So at that point, you have to talk to yourself and be honest and say, do you know what? I caught a little bug. I'm pissed that I caught a little bug, and I'm annoyed at myself that I caught this bug. I can't get angry at Alex. I can only be angry at myself. And this is where we talk about how Laurent the other day is insecurity starts to settle in, because now you feel unsecure in that moment. Now we're dropping bars about, but you was inside of me, and thinking it's a bar. And at that point, it's not a bar, because all that now means that anybody at that table too is thinking to himself, if I'm a guy, I'm thinking to myself, so he was inside, like, okay, cool. Oh, you're definitely ain't wifey, but I'm definitely gonna fuck. Like, I ain't think, as a man, this is what happens in a group setting. So you now set yourself up for failure, because any man after that's not thinking, oh, she could be wifey. Everyone's thinking to himself, no, I can mash. I can get next, because that's what she's willing to do. So sometimes you take the L and you keep it inside of you, and you just take it quietly, because unfortunately, the rules of the engagement was that you weren't going to engage on that level. And you assumed that you were much more dear to him. And what she should have done was taken on Jordan's advice here and taken that conversation privately. But now everybody at the table knows. Now you look foolish.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to figure it out before she said she sent a picture to Jordan and how the boys found out, because of course Nick's like, I knew, and and Amir said he knew, and we know that they have their men group over there, you know, that's the big bros, and Amir's like little bro. So I was like, okay, it sounded like you told the guys that you were with him, but then it's like Jordan got the picture and gave it to Nick, and Nick is now called in saying, hey, what you and whatchamacallit doing? The fact that a person wants to keep me private, I'm not about to out myself. Because if he's getting mad that, you know what I'm saying, that I kind of outed the situation and he's backing up off me, first of all, we're going to have that one-on-one conversation so I can figure out what the heck, why you backed up off me. I'm not trying to out myself and be like, well, you were in me, so I didn't get an invite. I didn't know being in somebody, it requires invites after that. Like, I didn't know I don't know the rules on this. Maybe I'm slow, I'm old or something. I don't know, but I'd have just kept that to myself and took this L in silent and just proceeded to have that conversation with, hey, listen, I know we about to be in the house for the next 15 days, whatever the case may be. I don't want it to be awkward between us. What's good? I know that you kind of backed up off me, but are we cool? You know, if you want to go and do your thing, I'm letting you know I'm cool with that. But she's not really cool with it, so she's not going to do that. She needed that moment to make sure that Noelle knows, even if you proceed, I have been here already. That's where it was giving me. That's what it was giving me.
Yeah, and from what I understood too, she was telling, because she told a couple of people, and then she was taking pictures and sending pictures of him in another group chat. So I think she was geeked to be having this time with him. And as much as she thought she could handle the casualness of the situation, she really wasn't set up for him being that casual. It's like, and that's what happens. You need to have these conversations before you get intimate, because, hey, when it happens, you can't now say, hey, you were supposed to do this. Well, we didn't have any guidelines. So don't put yourself in positions, literally, that you're not going to be going to be able to handle afterwards.
And if I'm Noel, these are the keys to the kingdom. Okay, these are the keys to the kingdom. If I'm Noel, this is beautiful information. Thank you for letting me know. Now I know how I'm going to enter the situation. I cannot be blind. Like, if Noel's smart, she actually can capture Alex. You know, she can actually be the most dangerous person in the game, because as a person who's an avoidant, the worst thing to meet is somebody who plays the game better than you, like who's able to distance themselves. So it's going to be who can hold out the longest. If Noel can hold out long enough, it'll be Alex feeling the burn by the end of this, because as a man, sometimes we get arrogant, right? So in that situation, if Noel's paying attention and listening, she's like, wait, hold on. Olga got played because she tried to get too close. Okay, I'm going to make sure that no matter what he tells me, I'm not going to believe it. And this it's a very scary game of power. It's like, who's going to fall first? So if Noel can hold on a little bit longer, you know, be strategic, you know what I mean, not give him too much, I'm telling you, it'll be Alex by the end of the summer going, I don't know what happened, but something about her just, I don't know what it is. And it's because an avoidant needs time to fall. They don't like people falling too soon. So they need to be pulled into a situation and then slowly decline into the situation. So if Noel can just hold on, I'm telling you, she can pull him slowly in. He gonna end up falling if she just be smart about it. Because she's a beautiful girl. She seems very intelligent as well, Noel. You know, if she plays a game, she could actually capture the king. I'm telling you. Whether it lasts long, we don't know. But, you know, you can capture the king, and this summer could be a really good summer for Noel.
As long as she do better than she was doing cracking that crab. She was struggling with that crab, baby.
She in Laurent's hands, boy.
I would have taken care of it for her. But no, Kojo, we don't want her to do that, because we already see Summer crashing out right now. So imagine if her friend starts getting with Alex, then that's going to ruin their friendship. You know, there's no way. I don't care what she said. Yes, she gave her the green light, but I think this conversation, we got to exercise some emotional intelligence and back. You know, friends. Yeah, Summer.
Like good friends.
Yeah, Summer brought her to the house. Summer brought her to the house and then told her to gave her clearance for Alex. So what Summer is trying to say is, play my boy for me. But then it's going to but it's also going to, like you're saying, Sean, it's going to still hurt Summer's feelings, because Summer's still in there. Summer's not over it. So if what Summer actually wants Noel to actually do is use a bit of dark arts to a certain degree, just like you said, just string him long enough for him to expose himself, but don't go all the way there. She don't want her to go all the way there. She want him just to reel him in. It's going to be a bad idea if Noel does anything with this man. It's going to be a bad idea all the way around. So,
because once she tastes the goodness of what you tasted, because it was up inside of you and it felt good, if she feels it was good too, you're done. I'm just going to be honest with you. Some of you going to regret letting your friend go there. If it's good, it's so long. Because remember, her mind is already coming with information already there. And I'm not saying that she's going to get involved with him in that way, but if she knows that the D was quality when you was enjoying it, and now you sent her on a mission to go and taste the same fruits that you were having, once she comes back with the report like, yeah, it was okay, you gonna know she lying, and you're not gonna have that.
But that's what I'm saying. Summer doesn't really want Noel to go to find out what the D is like. She just wants her to pull him in to get him to a thing. That's what Summer's like. Go ahead and go for him. But like, if Noel is like, well, you know what? Let me see what you acting all crazy about.
Exactly.
Summer gonna be sliding down walls, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
It's gonna be a slow descent too, just sliding.
Is there anything else y'all want to talk about this episode that caught your attention or whatnot? Because I know we covered.
I do have I haven't say. I am sick and tired of. Listen, I might get shot for this, and I don't give a heck. I'm sick and tired of, specifically because we're black people here, black gay men railing on black women and then calling it normal. It's not normal. It doesn't matter if he's gay or not. Because when him and Brie going back and forward, I get the beef, right? But if he was a normal heterosexual black man, what would we be saying about his behavior at that moment? The way he was going at her, I was like, yo, chill, be like, what? Why are we having this? You know, you got into a whole mad argument situation, which didn't even include you. You get what I'm saying to you? And I said, if he was a heterosexual black man, we would be calling him out, and we'll be calling him out for the behaviors that he is. Just because he says yes and all that stuff does not give an exclusion for that kind of behavior. I think it's detrimental. I've spoken about this before, that oftentimes, and then what happens is Brie came back and apologized, which I totally understand as well. But it's like, if that was a heterosexual black man, would she have come back and said sorry like that? Probably not. See, that past is very, very always touchy for me, because in that when I watched, I was like, oh, I was like, why is he coming at her like that, bro? Like, I get that the girls are going at it, but why are you coming at like it was Alex's situation, and then even Amir, when he got involved, wasn't doing that energy. But when I saw Preston, I said the energy is too much. I said no, you can't use the same energy you use with a man just because you're gay. It doesn't exclude you. You still can't do that. And I think that for me is a little bit disturbing, just a little bit. Something I just noticed.
I don't know if you want to take it, Sean, or you're on mute, babe.
Oh no, you could go first, and I'll add.
No, I think a lot of the past is because he just recently lost his father or whatnot, and so I know last season you didn't really watch last season. He really was quiet a lot last season while we watched Brie pop off the handle a lot of times in the house. But I think this was one of the dinners. He was just like, I want to just have a nice dinner. We just sitting here, and Brie inserted herself into that whole situation, and it escalated as soon as she asserted herself. And so I think it was more so of just trying, and he said it at the thing, I was trying to calm the table down. But when you start with Brie, and Brie has gotten into it with Silas last year, she got into it with damn near the whole house. She got into it with another woman that they end up having to kick the other woman out. Brie is a bit of a problem a lot of times. However, I get what you're saying. Overall, generally, yes, a man, regardless of his sexual preference, should not be going at a woman at any type of way. I think in this moment, Preston get a little bit of a pass because, one, he's grieving. Two, he just wanted to have a good time. And, sometimes, like, I've done this before, when it's just too much popping off, and it's just like, all right, everybody, like that. And then you have that one person that just wants to keep going. So now it gets focused to her. And she actually drew him in. Because while she was inserting herself into the thing, she literally called out Preston's name in that moment and was like, and you. And he's like, well, what the heck did I do? Like, so he shouldn't carry so much energy, yes, but I kind of get it in this moment. Now, if he continues to do this the rest of the season, then yeah, we're going to have to really talk about it. So we'll see.
Yeah, so similar to that, like he was just calming things down. Like, so I don't know if like you missed some of it, the nuance of how the argument like popped off, but she came after him and was like, do you want me to leave, Preston? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me to leave? It's like, who's talking to you? And then she started like kind of going back and forth. Now, again, he went from 0 to 60 really, really quick. And I mean, he did a nice 182 because I think he was cussing her out. He might have called her the B word once or twice, Did he? I'm not sure. Did he?
I said I will have to listen to it back because once people start arguing, sometimes I tune out.
Because I'm trying to think, did he say, because I think he did say something. I don't know what he said. So KOJO, like, what did you hear? Like, what did you hear him say that you was like, oh yeah, this was too far?
It's not that it's necessarily what he said, it's the tone and the energy. You know what I'm saying to you? I said, if you transport him and make him a heterosexual black man, we will be having a different conversation, irrespective of whether he's grieving or not. You'd be like, whoa, he did a bit too much. And so I because I can't remember what we were watching last time, and something similar has happened. I was like, I get the fact that if you're trying to calm things down, that ain't the way to go about calming things down, right? If you want to mediate, right? You can't mediate by adding fire or adding more oil to the fire that's already burning. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So you're not really mediating, you're getting vexed, and then you're adding more to the flames. So when I saw it, I was like, I get that Brie maybe, and listen, maybe Brie deserved it. So I haven't watched Brie since, so I don't know how she is, right? So you guys saying that she's a bit of an annoying person. So I get it, right? But we talk about this all the time. Even if the woman's coming after you, there's a level that there's still a level as for us as men, there's a way that we can't go to. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So that's what I was saying that, because I was like, if I saw him as a heterosexual man, would I have a different conversation? We probably would. We'd be like, well, it's dangerous. The way he was talking to her. And I was like, well, no, he was angry. Well, it doesn't matter. A man can't be angry like that with a woman. right? But we just pass it because it's because he's gay. But I didn't like the energy that he brought to the table. I don't like that. I get that she's annoying. Well, let the other girls sort it out, right? Let the other girls sort it out. If you can't keep your energy down, you can't keep your vibe down. Let the ladies sort it out then. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But I just felt like the energy was a bit off. But again, I'll watch it again and maybe I'll have a different opinion, as well. But like my thing is, like I said, I just think there's an energy that was carried. I just feel like it needs to happen. But he's grieving, so we can give him some grace. You know what I mean? Just something I reserved.
So I got the little part right here. Let me see if I can play it so we can listen to it at least or whatnot. So I may go back just a little bit into the argument.
My party was in the group chat. Priya, I wasn't in town. I live in LA.
What the is happening right now?
Hold on. Priya, I'm going to say one thing. I love you. Let me just... And I love you too. This is not me exclusive to that. If you want me to leave, Preston, I'll leave. No, you're not leaving, Priya. We're still eating. Why are
That
you
can't be to me because
doing
you lost your mind if it is.
You're saying, oh my God,
Look at
you want me to leave?
I'm
I'll leave.
tired of everything being an argument.
If you want me to leave, I'll leave. You want me to leave? I'll leave.
I was not
Is that what you want? Is that what you
You
want?
ready to cry now?
Is that what you want?
You ready to cry now?
God. Honey, I
Don't get
love you.
quiet.
I love you.
Everything is always a dramatic episode. I don't really know what's going on with Priya. I know.
Yeah. So I get the energy you're talking about or whatever, but it did start off the ladies going back and forth, and then he goes, "What the F is happening?" So it was to the whole group. And she stopped her conversation and looked at him and said, "So you want me to leave now? Preston, you want me to leave?" And he's like, "What the F is wrong? I know that's not to me. What the?" So he lost it. I'm not going to hold him. He did freaking lost it. I don't know if it's because of the dynamic of arguing and everything that's going on with his dad's family, his situation, the grieving, all that stuff. I don't know if it's that or if he's just over this group arguing all the time, every time they get together. This is supposed to be their first sit down dinner and they already here arguing. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know.
I mean, listen, yeah. I mean, I think it wasn't the most craziest situation. It's just I think when I watched it, I was watching 1.75 speed while I was cooking my scrambled eggs. So when I'm hearing the voice in the back, I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? You know what I mean? So yeah, I felt like it was a little bit heavy. But like I said, this is the first time I've kind of seen him, so I don't really know if this is a regular thing. Do you know what I'm saying to you? It may or may not be. We'll have to wait and see.
He gives me one of those people that he's calm, and he's just taking everything. He's like a pressure cooker, just taking everything in, and then once it gets to that point, it explodes. But it's more so he's like the fun friend. The people that like to want to be fun for a reason, because when we go there, we're gonna go there. And he got a lot. He's dealing with all at once too, because now that his dad died, it's I guess making him relive a lot of their I can't say the word right now. Tumultuous,
yeah.
Childhood and relationship that they had together. So he just probably wanted to be like, I want this to be a nice, fun, calm dinner, and I ain't getting this right now. So the part of me that's just human, I understand it, but I understand what you're saying. As a male, he has to be able to control himself a lot better, especially dealing with women.
Fair enough.
Anything else, fellas? Anything else? It looks like it's gonna be a good season. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still upset about the Roman situation. I want to see how that gets resolved.
Yo,
that still has me tight.
Put him in the kiddie room. That's what I was gonna say. To put him in the kiddie room.
And then I thought you talk about gay male preference. I thought you was gonna say how he wound up getting his own room. That ain't right.
Wow.
Because he wanted the girls.
Definitely wasn't gonna be Alex.
We done had a problem. I'm sorry.
He wanted the girls.
Yeah. Well, it definitely wasn't going to be Alex's room, so he already lost points with the way he behaved with someone, so she weren't staying in the room. That's what happens when you start messing around. You should have played it nicely. They got him good.
Yeah, I don't know how this house is bigger and they still don't have enough rooms to accommodate everybody. That's the craziest spot. And they ain't got no pool, so it's pissing me off. Y'all know how I feel about a pool.
Oh, they have a pool. They have a. No,
I
they
know
don't. They
that's
have
a
a
trampoline. They had a
trampoline. Yeah.
trampoline, but I didn't see a pool, so I don't know. Maybe they
And
do.
what is Shanice? I haven't seen Shanice, but I don't know why. But when she went on the trampoline, it just gave me, and just me, just my first impression. It was like this attention seeking little chick. I was like, she know what she doing on that trampoline, getting them boys come out. Okay.
She got in trouble last season because I think she got into the pool topless or bottomless or something when the girl's husband was around. So Jasmine got on her like, yo, fall back, fall back. So yeah, Shanice does a lot of attention-seeking behaviors. She's a little unhinged. Sorry, she's a little unhinged. So
Well.
You know the energy. She came in saying hopefully there's some men and things.
When she said I said, oh, we the three bunnies. I said, And now we're jumping on trampolines, and all the guys followed her out. Well, not say all, but a few of the guys followed her. I was like, they know what it is.
They said to your a little Sean, a little. She not a little. she a lot of attention seeking. Yeah, Shanice is a bit of a problem, and we got her all summer this year. Last year we only had her for the weekends, so she was only part-time problem. We're gonna see how it is when we got her the whole time, and it looks like episode 2 they're gonna be making her slide down the closet walls.
For what?
Because she always in the
preview. You didn't see the preview. That's what had me. They was playing a game, and it was like, who has the worst fashion? And then they chose her, and she was like, she was out, boy. It took her out.
Like a light bulb.
You know, it would have been funny if they played the game and said it was Nick, though. Nick would have been like, let me show you all my right now. They should have said Nick just for the fun of it. I don't know, fellas. Well, we here for another season of Martha at the Vineyard. We might have to plan a trip, too, to the Vineyard one time. We might have to go down.
Listen, that house is looking special. Where is it, Vineyard?
It's off of the coast of Massachusetts.
Where
on the East Coast, baby.
Yes, okay, cool. It's not far from me. It's like 4 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so it's doable.
You know Boston, so
yeah.
It's a 1 hour ferry, and Boston is a big city in Massachusetts, so it's like a 1 hour ferry ride from there. It's really nice. I got some
friends in Massachusetts.
It's really nice.
So it'll be fun
to find out. We'll have to find out what it costs.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think, we need to hit up Phil because I think his sister has a house in Martha's Vineyard. If he'll let us,
we can film our own TV show.
Not our own TV show. And guess who's coming in the bikinis? Guess who's coming in the bikinis?
Party! I don't care which bed I'm sleeping in, okay?
Right. You don't give a damn which bed you sleeping in. You're going to get the bunk bed. You got the top or the bunk.
I don't mind the bunk bed. I don't mind wherever, as long as I can get a sleep in.
Child, them beds was not fitting in that bunk bed at all. They on the floors because I was like, all of them too tall for it. How is they sleeping?
Alex going to be sleeping in the fetal position at that point.
Nah, he got the separate bed. He mapped it out. He got the separate bed that's in the middle of the room.
Okay.
Thank you, Kiki. And yes, please hit the like button on both channels. We are streaming both on Little Black Book and on Another Round channel. So please do us a solid and hit that like, share, subscribe. And guess what? Membership is open to both channels. We like to do some things. Tonight is members live at KOJO's channel. And you also have an interview with who?
Dom. Which is this is the next 15 minutes. I need to get out of here.
All right. Yeah, we getting out of here anyway because we about done anyway. So we'll be back next week.
I'm gonna be back next week.
Yeah,
I cannot wait, guys.
For this, child. We got some more to talk about. Martha's Vineyard Summer is gonna have us going for the spring, baby. Gotta get ready for our summer. So yes, anything last words from you two fellas?
You know what? Summer It's gonna be lonely this winter. That's what I got for her.
Sean, hit us with the closing round.
Sure. Listen, you know I love a good song, so it's gonna be TLC. Talk about your friends. Will they let you down? Are they gonna be low down? So friendships are important. Don't let your friends down. Be honest with your friends. Communicate with your friends. If the friendship shifts and changes, talk to your friends, but don't just leave them down. Don't do your friends dirty. You know, don't have separate group chats and talk about them in the group chat. You know, that's what I gotta say.
And I would like to thank you all for joining us today for SummerHouse Martha's Vineyard Recap Review Season 2, Episode 1. We'll be back next week with Episode 2. If you like and you was part of this thing, go ahead and hit the like, share, subscribe, leave comments down below. And look, we about to go over to Little Black Book for Dom from Ready to Love interview. So I'll meet y'all over there in the chat. Y'all be on y'all best behavior. You know, we all +1. So you got to act right on the +1 list, baby. Okay. I don't want us to get kicked out the party. So, you know, y'all act right over there in the chat with Dom. Okay. I'll meet y'all over there. Love y'all. And we're going to leave y'all. Y'all have a good day. Bye. See you later. We out this thing.